Right guys, so we're back now with the, I'm going out of focus there. We're back, and it's time for the second update on the build update on the, there I am, on the Panzerspahwagen, okay, the Sd.Kfz.221. And we're ready for the interior painting, okay, before we get the rest of the construction done on the outside, because in a step or two time we're going to have to close it all up, so we might as well get the inside of it painted now. So it's going to be white interior, okay, so we're going to paint everything white first, and then we'll do all the little detail paintings on it, okay. So I'll start off, I'll get everything painted white on the inside first. We'll have a look at it, and then we'll start with the detail painting. We'll see what that looks like, and then we'll fit all the little bits into it. Like I said, there's lots of little things like the hand grenades and a couple of other bits and pieces, the helmet and things, they've got to go inside it. And hopefully once they're inside, everything will look absolutely lovely. Lovely. So, let's get down to the bench, and no, I'll get down to the bench and I'll show you what I've done when I come back. Okay, we'll just have a look at it when it's, I'll paint it white, and we'll have a look at that then, okay? Right, so there we go, all our interior is nicely painted white. I used an XF1 or XF2 for the white. XF2, okay, that's Tamiya colours, okay, XF2. That's the interior done, okay, in the white, okay. Now the base of that, the base plate there, everything bar this centre little piece here, gets painted in the German grey, okay, which is XF63 German grey, okay. So the floor gets painted German grey. We also have that little weird motorcycle section which pops in there, that's all painted up as well. I also went ahead and painted some of the pieces that go in, okay. I did just block colours, didn't do any kind of detailing to them or anything else. Okay, we've got the our German helmet, okay, it's painted with field grey, that's what I was trying to remember, field grey, okay. So we got the helmet done in the field grey. We've got the water bottle, or not the water bottle, it's the gas mask canister, okay. Gas mask canister, field grey. We've got the two canteens, okay, field grey again. With the hatchet, I just painted it all brown. Okay, the wood effect, so I sprayed down the brown. I'll go in afterwards now with the white, the interior white colour. I will do, there we go, try and get that back up there again. I could do a couple more hands, you know that, no octopus syndrome. Right, I will do that there in the white, and the hatchet then itself in a steel colour with this little cover piece here white as well, okay, because that then fits in. Also did the machine gun, okay, I did that in NATO black. What I do is I paint a NATO black and then I give it a blue wash, and it works. I give the blue wash of the clear blue, just water it down, that extra, thin it out just that extra little bit, okay, not water it down because it's Tamiya paints, but just thin it out that extra little bit. I think you only use a tiny little bit, just another tiny little bit of XF22, X20A thinner, and just thin it out that little bit more, and I use that then as a kind of a wash for it, and it gives it that kind of gun bluing effect. Okay, and then you can kind of give it the sort of a black wash over that, with the black will go into any of the crevices, and then give it a dry brushing. Okay, so you know, paint the handle there here in flat black, or you can go with the brown because they used both set colours were used on the hand grips. Literally down to the company that made the MG40 or the MG40s, MP40s. From memory, I remember looking back at a kind of a documentary about these, the MP40s, and they were made by a number of different companies. I think the contract went out to about 3 or 4 different companies, and they were made by them. Or 3 or 4 different companies made the parts, and then they were put together to make them. I'm not exactly sure, I can't really remember too much, but I have remember seeing some with brown handle scales, and I've also seen some with black handle scales, so you get away with both. And also we've got our stick grenades, okay, our potato mashers, and the same idea with them. I just paint them brown, get the wood up, and then I can do the tops of them then in the little base bit. I'll use NATO black for them. That'll get them nice and black, kind of a grey black. So that's what I've gotten done since I was last speaking to you. Got to finish off the detail painting now on that. I do have a couple of pieces already in place that have to be changed, that have to get colours on them. I think these here get a silver colour. Okay, our steering wheel gets black. There's black and silver to go onto the our controllers, gear lever, brake and things like that. The seat has to be done in black. Inside here we got the fire extinguisher, it's got to be painted red. This piece here has got to be painted black. Wood here on the handle of the wire cutters, black then, or native black or steel for the cutting edges of it. And we've got 2 water bottles there, and they're both going to be in the field grey. Okay, and I've also got the black done then as well on our instrument panel, so I just have to pop a bit of white into there. And I use this yoke bleeder, I just get a little bit of white in that and dip it in, leave it dry. It might need a second one, might even need a third one, rather than trying to get it all in one. Just a little drip into each one of these, and it's much easier to do it nice and slowly. And with the 4 little yolks there, I might use a bit of red. Okay, if you see it there, there's 4 little dimples. I use a bit of red for them, and red here for the other 2, just to get them to stand out that little bit. They mightn't be the correct colours, but sure, why will I let that stop me now? I never bothered before making sure things were the correct colours or not. Close enough, and as long as it kind of stands out and looks good, I'm happy. Okay, so I'm going to get stuck into them, and carry on then with the interior painting of that. When that's done, we'll have a look at all the little pieces before I go installing them, and then we'll have a look at them, what they look like installed. Okay, so bear with me and let me get on with that. Okay, so the interiors are detail painting is done on them. I've got the floor. Where's my pointy sticker? There we go. Okay, I'm after using that German grey for the floor panel done. I have the seat, the steering wheel, gear levers. These 2 boxes here painted aluminium. Just added a couple of colours in there, just black and white. Just whether it's right or not, I don't know, but it just makes it a little bit more colourful. A bit of artistic license, and that is my kit. I'll do what I want with it. Okay, in here then we've got the I forgot to do the brown on them. Just have to do the brown on them. Typical out of me. Just the wire snips, the 2 water bottles, with this little black box here. It's probably their lunch, don't know. We've got the fire extinguisher. We've got the weird motorbike thingy. That's the control panel center section there, spinny thing for the turret. We've got all the little hand grenades done. Okay, they're all done. White stripes are the straps. We've got the gas canister, the instrument panel, the helmet which I showed you earlier. Okay, we've got the MP40. Okay, that's the side it goes on. There we go. MP40. The X. Come on. Bit of better zoomage there. Come on. There we go. The X. Then we have the two canteens. Nothing really done to them. A wash will bring out any bits and pieces there to be done to them. So now it's all kind of factory fresh interior. So now what I'll do is I'll finish off painting the handles of the wire snips, and I'll fit all the rest of them. I mean, have a look at that then. When the interior is all finished, and then when it's dry, I'm going to give it a coat of gloss, purely because I want to give it a black wash. And give that a black wash before if you don't gloss it and give it a black wash, what will happen? It'll just go too dark. I don't want it to go too dark. I want the wash to go where I want it to go. You know, around the details and the contours and things like that. So by giving it a gloss coat, that'll protect the main surfaces, and the wash then will go down on the sides and make things stick out a bit. I can't use the word pop, but it'll make them pop. So I'll get on with that. I'll get the all the interior bits fitted. We'll have a look at it and see what it looks like before we give it a wash. Okay. Right, okay. I'm after giving it its gloss coat now. I gave it to it last night. Around this time last night, actually. It was a bit earlier. So it's had a bit more than 24 hours in curing. What I use for a gloss coat, I use my favourite gloss coat, which is this. It's Alclad 2, okay, gloss coat. It's just brilliant. I really find it absolutely fabulous. It really is. Okay, Alclad 2. Okay, it's aqua gloss. Okay, Alclad 2 aqua gloss, ALC 600. Okay, there are a couple of different gloss coats that Alclad do, and it's the ALC 600 aqua gloss. That's the one I use. Nice and milky. It's absolutely fabulous. It really is. Goes an awful long way. You only need a very small bit of it in your brush, in your airbrush. Right. That said, there she is, with all the little accoutrements installed. Okay, the hand grenades are done. The machine gun is in. The helmet is there. The canteens are there. In the upper part, then we've got the fire extinguisher. Our instrument panel is in. The wire snips, and I've painted it. Yes, remember I hadn't the inside of it painted, so it's painted now. I'll get a bit of light in there just to show you. There we go. That's painted up, as is our water bottles. Okay, so now that we have it made up, I made down a bit of black, a bit of a black wash for it. Now for the wash I've used some white spirit and enamel, black enamel matte paint. Okay, tested it then on a little piece of the back, because the back isn't going to be shown, so I could test it on that. So I tested it by giving it a kind of an overwash like that, to see how dark would it, if it went all over it, how dark it would be. Always have a couple of these things handy about. Okay, Q-tips or ear cleaners, whatever you want to bloody well call them. Okay. So, and around the edges and things like that, which is all I want to do, is just give it a kind of a pin washing around some of these little bits and pieces. So once it's tested and you're up to, you're happy with what consistency of it, then just start to work on it. Okay, so I'll just show you one little bit. I'll do around the door here. Okay, get a bit of wash on your brush. Just touch it off a section. Let the paint do the work, rather than you faffing around trying to get around very, very tight pieces. Okay, so as you can see, don't put too much on the brush, only the tiniest little bit on the brush. Touch it off the areas. Let the capillary action of the wash do its job. Okay. So there we go. That's the kind of the effect we're going for. When that dries in, then it won't be as dark, it won't be as dramatic. Okay. But that's basically what you want at this stage. I'll carry on now. I'll get the rest of it done. We'll have a look at it then and see what that looks like when that's finished and dried in. Okay. Right. After doing just a little of that, okay, I realised that the white is too white. Okay, I want it kind of a bit more. I don't want it dirty, but I want it weathered looking, if you know what I mean. So I did it just a kind of a test piece back here, and I'm happy with how that came out. Okay, I'm happy with that. That looks a lot more realistic. Okay, so how we did this, believe it or not, I just dipped my you can see what I'm doing. I dipped my brush into the wash, and basically just splattered it on. Okay. Splattered it on. Make sure it gets in everywhere now when you do this. When you do it this way. I knew that was going to come off. I just knew it. I'll get that back on later. It does happen when you're doing weathering. You do tend to pieces do tend to fall off. You tend to knock them off and things, but don't worry about them. Just take that off and stick it back on later. Okay. Never worry about that. Okay, make sure you have plenty of wash in there. Okay. Everything nicely covered. Now, there are a couple of ways to remove all that. Right. One way is with a dry brush and a bit of tissue. Okay, and all you do is scrub it. Okay. Remember, if your glass coat is good, you can do this. If If your gloss coat isn't good, you won't be able to get away with it. Okay. Brush is a little bit big for what I want to do, so we get a smaller one. Oops, I keep knocking off the camera. Okay, and remove it bit by bit that way. But I find the best way is with the cotton bud. Okay. Now, I've got a bit of white spirit there. If you put the white spirit onto your cotton bud, roll off the excess. You can kind of clean it off a little bit faster. Now, you can go in all directions for a start, but make sure when you're finishing off and doing the last little bit of a rub off into the wash. Well done, Johnny. Just goes to show you, I haven't a clue what I'm doing most of the time. Okay. And then use your little brush then for areas that you can't get into the white spirit. Give it a little bit of a brush off. Remove. Don't try to remove too much at any one time. Remove a bit. Use your brush then to clean it off. Alright. Same idea again. Okay. Just use the brush to remove your excess. Excuse me. Remember now, if you can't streak down, streak upwards. Okay. I'm moving all that now into an area that I can remove with me moistened cotton bud. I'll just do this little area here. You can get the idea. Okay, you can make it as clean or as dirty as you want. I still got more to remove from there, but you're getting the idea. That is a lot better than just the stark white. Okay, stark white is lovely for a brand new vehicle, but if you want to have it weathered a bit, just plaster it on and remove it. Okay. I was trying to go with a really just a pin wash around the thing, but white was such a stark colour, you know, the effect was a bit too dramatic, and I did not like it at all, so plans had to change. Okay, and like I said, remove what you don't want, get a bit up in your brush, make sure your brush stays clean. Keep cleaning your brush. Bit of white spirit. Clean off your brush. And remove away. Get a bit of an area done. Wipe it down into the areas that you can get your cotton bud into, and just remove it away. Okay, I'm going to carry on with that and get back to you. Okay. Now, which one? A little bit of extra light there we get to see. And there we go. There's the nice effect you get from that, okay? Which is nicely weathered. Not over weathered, not under weathered, but nicely weathered, okay? Nice. You get a nice effect going that way. Okay. still one or two little areas now I can clean off. But overall, I'm quite happy with it. When you compare it to, say, the stark white, it's just too white, isn't it? But that's still white. It's still very, very clean looking. Okay. Now there's one or two areas. Like I said, the areas in that you think they're just a little bit too much. The brush moistened in white spirit. Just don't even try to remove it, just move it around. Okay. Move around the little bits. Disperse the offending pieces, isn't that it? Okay. There we go, I'm happy with that. Because remember, I got that machine gun now to add back in there. Gotta super glue that back in. Yes, just super glue. We'll do the job on that. Better than trying to use the ordinary plastic glue, because it was kind of an awkward piece in there. So anyway, that's the interior built and painted. Okay. So just quick look at the top section. Okay, same idea on that. Okay, just dirtied up a bit basically. Right, and we've got that little Hells Angels bit for the centre. You mind there with the ape hangers. Okay, just a little bit of there we go. Just a little bit of dirtying up on that. So now, like I said, I'm going to carry on now. Here's my instructions. I'm going to leave that dry for an overnight. I won't attempt doing any more to that. I'll wait till that dries. The any bits of excess white spirit will evaporate away, and I can start working then on the rest of the exterior of the kit. Right, so we're on now to step 12 and step 13. We're adding our little window panel pieces here. Okay, there's a kind of semi-framework around them. It doesn't go around them the whole way. Yeah, I'd say it's a kind of just a rain runoff for when the windows are open. And we're putting on our windows at the back as well. Okay, we've got a bit of PE by the looks of it as well. Okay, so we're going to carry on with that, get that done. When those two bits are done, we'll come back to you. Okay, we'll come back to you, and then we'll see what that looks like. Because the next step then is putting the top to the bottom and adding the boot and a few other little bits and pieces. So there's our interior, all nicely done, which was the last of that bit. So on now with step 12 and step 13. Okay, another look at 12. Okay, as you see, we've a little bit busy, a little bit not overly busy, but busy enough. And step 13. So I'm going to go on, get ahead with those, and get back to you. We'll have a look at what that looks like at that stage. Oh, I just bring that up a little bit. There we go. No, so we're after getting done. Where's my pointy stick? Pointy stick. There we go. Right, we're after getting done step 12 and step 13 now, and we're after putting on the vision ports here at the front, or windows, whatever you want to call them, and some panels at the back, bit of photo etch on the top, and a couple of other little bits and pieces, the windows and things. Okay, and here we go, here they are. Right, there's the windows in their open position. Okay, we have a little bit of photo etch here. Okay, angled. We'll bring that into the angle. Same here and here. We have another one at the other side. Right, we put on a shovel, some guards there around. I thought when I saw them first that other wing mirrors, but they're a bit far back for wing mirrors, so whatever they are, I do not know. These little things here. Okay, what they are, I haven't the faintest idea, but they're on anyway. Also had put on this panel here in the back with a box in it, and the two access hatches into the engine. Okay, there are 3 pieces actually. You've got to put on the hinges as separate pieces, but they're easy enough because they fit in beautifully. And kind of tip, if anybody's doing this kit, is to put this piece, the big piece, in first, and then fit the hinges to that. Okay, the instructions tell you to put glue the hinges onto this piece and then fit the whole lot, but I think it's easier to do it this way, is to put that piece in and then glue the hinges on. Quite easy so far. Loads of little fiddly bits, very, very small pieces, but they fit perfectly. They really, really do. They're really nice fit on them. Okay, so back to the instructions, and we're now on to step 14. Okay, so this, come on, zoom in there. So this time now I'll get step 14 and step 15. It's the glossy pages are playing havoc with the light here on the camera, the automatic lighting on the camera. It's kind of playing a bit of havoc with them, so please excuse that. Right, so on this section here, on step 14, we're putting the top to the bottom, we're joining the 2 pieces together. We're putting on a back panel and one of the boxes. Okay, it gives us a choice of 2 boxes to use, the one with either 2 or 3. Okay, I don't know which one I'll go with yet. We'll see if it doesn't make a difference or anything like that. I don't think it really makes a difference unless you're going for a specific one, and I don't know any specific ones, so I'll just grab whichever one I grab first. Probably the one with 3. Why not? Why go for 2 when you can go for 3? Okay, then we're down. We've got an exhaust pipe to get fitted. Okay, we've got to build up our exhaust system first, then we've got to fit it. We've 2 of them, one at either side. Okay, so they've got to be fitted, and our big mud guards. Okay, they've got to be fitted as well, and lights. Okay, so I'm going to get step 14 and step 15 done, and then we'll come back. We'll have a look at that and see if there's any problems in building it, or anything to watch out for if you're building this kit yourself. Okay, so I'll see you in a minute when I've got all that done. It'll be, like I said, a minute for you, or a couple of seconds for you, but it'll be probably a day or 2 depending on what rate, but how fast I get it done. So I'll see you in a sec. We'll have that bit done, we'll have a look at it, discuss it, and carry on then from there. Where's my pointy stick? There we go, pointy stick. Need the pointy stick. Right, so we've done step 14 and step 15. Okay, we've put the top to the bottom of it, added on the little engine cover at the back, and our box here. I've used the one with the 3. Okay, down here then we've built up our exhausts. Okay, our 2 exhausts, we've built them up, we've installed them. Okay, we've put on our big mud guards. Okay, and our lights. Okay, I just haven't marked them off yet, but they're done. They're on. So let me get me green marker. Okay, get that light away. It's a bit too bright. Okay, the lights are done. The lights are installed. funny little thing here. I'm going to show it to you. I find this quite weird, to be honest with you. Okay, there's our lights, right? Get that up to you there. Here's our lights. It tells you to paint that silver and to put on this piece here. When you see that, you say, oh yeah, it's grand, you got a hole there so you'll see silver through it. Okay, and then put them on. No problem. Then you go getting the pieces out. You get your pieces out. There is no hole. Okay. See it? They're kind of they're a closed in cover. Right? So, weird thing, I mean, you go to the bother of painting the inside of it and then cover it up. Don't see the point of that at all. Anyway, as you can guess, I didn't do it. I didn't paint them silver because once I saw the covers, what's the point in painting the inside of that silver? Because I was going to paint them silver and then, so, you know, mask off or something. But no, no need for it whatsoever. Okay. One thing I will say: the locator marks and things, they're not great. They are not great. Could be the room for improvement. Definitely room for improvement on them. They weren't as clearly defined as they were on the interior and other parts. You know, the marks for putting on the two, or the four, should I say, mud guards, they were very, very bad. And for the lights, okay, they were non-existent, absolutely non-existent whatsoever. So I had to kind of figure out where they were going to go, measure up each bit, so they were you know, reasonably level. Okay, and then with me little drill bit, just put in a little locator mark myself. It's kind of not really to worry about too much, but you know, they could have been better. They could have been installed there for those little marks. But the top is on. No problems getting the top on. It went on lovely. Same with the exhausts. They're absolutely gorgeous. Even the little bits of PE went into them. Okay, a little bit of PE went in either side. Why? I don't even know why there's a little bit of PE in there, but it's in there anyway. You can see it there. Okay. So no need for it whatsoever. But everything is on. Everything is going together quite nicely. Very, very fiddly. Loads of little tiny parts, but enjoyable. You know. Depends then, I suppose, if you're not in the humour for doing little tiny parts, then it's not enjoyable, is it? So I'm going to leave this video at that. I don't want the sections to get too big, because there's plenty. I still have plenty more to do in the installation. In the next video, now we're working on mud flaps, little boxes, things like that. There's loads of them to go on. You know, loads of little protectors. You got the, you know, the no-tech light. There's the divisional flag. We've got protectors around everything. Loads of them. Okay, so there's loads of little bits and pieces to go in here. Okay, it is quite full. Loads of parts to go on. We've got PE parts, we've got plastic parts, so we still have plenty to go on. Okay, so that's step 16 and step 17, and as you can see, we still have loads more to put on, because it goes up as far as step 21. So I'm going to leave the video at this. In the next video, like I said, we'll continue on with it. We'll get the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21 done, hopefully, and we'll have the construction done then at that stage. So that's it for video number 2. We got quite a lot done. We got the interior painted, we got the top fitted to the bottom, we got all these little bits of PE added, we've got our mud guards on, you know, our exhausts, things like that. No problems, major problems. Just like I said, the Locator Marks, watch out for them if you're doing this kit. They're not the best, so be very, very careful in measuring up and fitting things, dry fit everything. Make sure that that is where it's going to fit, and then, you know, install it. So, like I said, that's it for this one. Stay tuned to the channel for further updates. Thank you if you've been watching all along. If you haven't and you've just sort of clicked into this one, go back and watch the start of it, the unboxings and all that. I will be continuing on, getting it all painted and everything else. And the more I do it, the more I can see that painting in this is going to be fun. It is going to be fun. There's going to be lots of little masking to do, especially up here at the top. We're going to get trying something to mask in there. The doors, because I want the doors open, going to have to kind of close the doors, put the doors on for painting it. It's going to be fun, plenty of little masking to get done, but it's an enjoyable kit, I must say that, it's an enjoyable kit. So I'll catch you in the next one, lads. Stay safe, enjoy your modelling in the meantime. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and if you have, thank you very, very much, I do appreciate it. So until next time, John signing off and saying, don't forget, go out and buy yourself a kit, build it and enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one, lads. Stay safe.